Bill Kristol and many others told you that Russian agent, that's Donald Trump. He's working for Putin. He's sabotaging Ukraine to help Russia. But none of that came up at last night's debate, weirdly. Joe Biden didn't seem to want to talk about impeachment or the Mueller report. Strange, since those were history-changing moments, remember? In fact, the only person on stage who talked about Russia, really, was Donald Trump. Watch.
If you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our First Lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it, too. So don't tell me about a free transition.
Well, I don't know if you could tell from the clip we just played you, but just hours before last night's debate, we learned from declassified documents that Russian intelligence determined during the last cycle, 2016, that it was Hillary Clinton who came up with and was pushing the narrative about Trump and Russia to distract from her email scandal. This was so worrisome to American intelligence officials that they forwarded an investigative referral about Clinton's plan to the FBI. But today, Jim Comey, who ran the FBI, testified he doesn't even remember that referral. How does that make sense? And why did Jim Comey then rely on the Steele dossier, which was based on claims from a subsource linked to Russian intelligence to investigate the Trump campaign? If your head is throbbing, there's a reason for that. Sean Davis has gone through all the details for years now. He's the co-founder of the Federalist. We're happy to have him on tonight to sort them out. Hey, Sean.
Thank you for having me.
So what did we learn from Comey today?
Well, it was actually a very big week as far as Russiagate news. Yesterday, we learned that it wasn't the Trump campaign who had colluded with Russian spies to interfere in the 2016 election. We learned that it was actually Hillary Clinton's campaign. The Russians knew what she was doing. The FBI knew that they knew. James Comey was even told through that investigative referral what was going on, that a Russian spy had infiltrated Christopher Steele's network and seeded his dossier with false information. And Comey today claimed that he didn't know a thing about it, which sure is curious given that the guy was running this thing from the beginning for the FBI.
So, I mean, it's just further evidence, as if we needed it, that whatever they're accusing you of doing is precisely to the letter what they are doing themselves. I mean, irony doesn't describe it.
You're exactly right. And it's even bigger than that. This isn't just a scandal about Democrat projection. This is a scandal about what was a coup planned against the incoming administration at the highest levels. And I can report here tonight that these declassifications that have come out, those weren't easy to get out. And there's, in fact, far more waiting to get out. Unfortunately, those releases and declassifications, according to multiple sources I've talked to, are being blocked by CIA Director Gina Haspel, who herself was the main link between Washington and London as the London station chief for John Brennan's CIA during the 2016 election. Recall, it was London where Christopher Steele was doing all this work. And I'm told that it is Gina Haspel personally who's blocking continued declassification of these documents that will show the American people the truth of what actually happened.
Why are we putting up with this? I mean, they're still holding documents from the Kennedy assassination, the Warren Commission documents. We still don't know everything there. Why is that 55 years later, 7 years later? They're blocking the release of so many documents. Why doesn't somebody, anyone in power could do this, stand up and say, no, these are going public now?
That's a great question. I think one reason is that so many of the people blocking these documents are likely implicated by them. You have these career bureaucrats whose careers may be destroyed by the facts that are within them. And I think at this point, we need the President, Donald Trump, to step in and say no more obstruction, no more blocking. We need transparency, and the American people need to hear the truth. And that means declassifying everything, letting everyone see everything about what happened so we can decide for ourselves before we vote in this election who we actually want in charge of these agencies.
Right. I mean, you can literally shoot a cop and get charged with assault, but if you're Julian Assange and you effectively declassify lots of documents, put them into public view, they want to kill you. It just tells you a lot about their priorities, doesn't it? Sean, great to see you.